All right, hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Command and Control, a security podcast. I'm Aaron Banner, and today I'm joined by Brennan Mannion and Ryan Shedrick from Red Canary. Our purpose today is to introduce our audience to Red Canary and to discuss an interesting blog that Red Canary posted last week in mid-December 2023. It's titled Diary of a Detection Engineer, Blown to Bits Admin. So Brennan and Ryan, can you kind of kick us off by introducing yourself, and then let's dig into the blog.
Yeah, absolutely, Aaron, and thanks for having us on. Big fans of XenTegra and love working with you and your team. Again, my name is Brennan Mannion. I'm based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm an account executive with Red Canary. Been here about 5 years and love supporting many customers throughout the Carolinas and the Southeast. And then I'm accompanied with a good friend and colleague of mine, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks, Brennan. And thanks again, Aaron, for having us. Ryan Shedrick, Senior Solutions Engineer, focused mainly in the Southeast. So I'm actually local to Florida, Cape Canaveral area. And I've been in the security space for about 5 years now, but most recently came over from IBM to Red Canary and just been having a blast, talking security with folks, learning more about their operations and how we can help with our MDR offering.
Okay, great. Hey, gents, thanks. Hey, Brennan, you want to kind of just start digging into this blog and let's start talking about it.
Absolutely. So Aaron, this one's really cool, man. So it was really great. Red Canary's whole mission and goal is being a security ally. And you know from our flagship product, our managed detection and response, it's a mixture of software and human, and really providing great identification of what's a threat and what's not a threat, and then empowering that customer and helping them respond to it. That's what Red Canary is really, really great at. And this blog did an awesome job just highlighting one of those suspicious binaries that came by, where it had some pieces where it looks like, this could be a challenge, and boom, once it went to a human and we started to really dig in, once the analyst was really looking at it, there was some egregious malicious activity buried and hidden inside this binary. It had Russian ties, it had persistence threats, and you guessed it, they were legit trying to build admin credentials and passwords to take full control. And Red Canary picked up on it and stopped it in its tracks. That was the real beauty of it. But yeah, basically, we're going through it and it's highlighting a lot of the beauty where Red Canary's human element comes into play, because we're big believers that technology is amazing, but it's never 100%. And that's where the human element needs to come into play and really lay eyes on things and make sure that, hey, we are inspecting all alerts. And this is one where we really had to do some additional digging and actually uncovered something that could have been a serious nightmare for a customer that we stopped dead in its tracks.
Yeah, the big point there too, Brennan, is that this occurred after hours. So this was actually on a late summer night when our detection engineer received the first event of this suspicious binary, right, with Russian ties, did that digging, went up the command line, the process chain, and saw that it was actually this Veritas backup software that was being leveraged to use command line to create these additional admin accounts and essentially try to move laterally, right? And so we were able to get on comms with the customer after hours, alert their team, and the timeline from detection to eradication was less than 2 hours, being able to contain this and shut this thing down in its tracks.
Ryan, I think that's kind of an interesting point as far as it being after hours. I'll tell you, as I've been brought into, remediate situations, conduct IR, it seems to me that more often than not, I'm sure that adversaries gain persistence, in at various hours during the day, but it does seem that they tend to kick off anything that would be loud or detected at odd hours, either late into the night, on a weekend, whatever it is, because as I get called into problems, it's often on a Saturday or a Sunday and something has happened and it's been detected at very odd hours. Do you see that a lot, or is that just a coincidence for me?
No, I don't think it's a coincidence, because the adversaries know what traditional working hours are, so that's why you see these spikes in holidays as well. At the time of this recording, we're about to roll into the Christmas holidays. And I'm sure, unfortunately, we're probably going to see a spike there. That's what our team of detection engineers are preparing for.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's just more reason why it's so necessary to have a solid MDR partner and somebody that's kind of observing your environment throughout. Not just Monday to Friday from 8 to 9, or 8 to 5, but weekends, holidays, midnight, whatever it happens to be. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that point out. So hey, if I'm listening to this podcast and I'm hopefully anybody listening to this podcast wants to go and check out your blog, and they can find that at redcanary.com/blog/BITSAdmin. And then if you just go to Red Canary's blog, you can see all kinds of blogs that you guys have posted. Many of them very interesting. I go to it often, and I like to read your content. But if I'm listening to this, I'm asking myself, some questions about what MDR is and who are the major players. So, why would someone choose Red Canary? And Brennan or Ryan, whoever wants to answer that, but why would they choose Red Canary?
I think I'll take a first stab at it and let Ryan kind of back it up. But ultimately, the whole goal of Red Canary and where we started a decade ago was we just wanted to make a positive impact to the cybersecurity community. We saw there was a problem that all the security engineers in the world, and just by the way, if you're ever talking to an MDR and they're trying to replace people at a company, probably run away, because that's absolutely not our job here at Red Canary. We believe that there's not enough qualified security people to do the job effectively. So our goal is to actually empower security teams and IT professionals to inspect all threats, build confidence, and basically instill confidence in the business, letting them know, hey, we're doing the best we can to harden our security posture and arm the business to be protected from an incident or a data breach. And the reason people really partner with us is we are scary good at having, we've the salespeople love to say the white glove treatment. Man, we just give you really smart people in front of you immediately that know how to respond to things. And our software has armed them to be successful to do that for a customer. So most people partner with us if they're really interested in avoiding ending up in the headlines, if they're looking to go through all threats, if they're looking to give confidence to their team. We talk to security professionals all the time that have high amounts of anxiety. They feel like they can't go on PTO, they can't spend time with their families. Heck, some of them are even nervous to go to sleep at night that they're going to wake up and have an alert that occurred when they're catching some Z's. Those are all reasons why people partner with Red Canary. Yeah, we do those things of checking the box for cyber insurance reasons. We do 24/7 eyes on glass. It's all USA based, all of those fun things that anyone's talking about. But ultimately, the main reason people partner with us is they want to feel confident that their business is going to be protected. They don't have to be in front of their computer all the time. And Red Canary is going to be the first line of defense to block, detect, and respond to the threats that there's coming and going at all points in time. Ryan, what do you think? Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I'd say that's the core of our mission, is that if you're a large hospital, your mission should be to treat and heal others. You shouldn't have to worry about protecting yourself from cyber attacks. Offload that to us. And then the real pieces that stand out to me, Aaron, is just the simplicity and the scale of our service. So we support a large range of providers, right, in the security space. There's no hardware or software to deploy on our end. So take, for example, if you invest heavily in the Microsoft security suite, it can take as short as 1 hour to stream telemetry and alerts from your environment. And then in 1 hour, you get 10 years of detection engineering experience. So we've got this awesome tech stack behind our service, but then it's that human touch as well, right? Collaborating with a real life threat hunter from Red Canary that's trained in these various security stacks, knows the threat landscape really well, and is just able to hop on a Zoom, hop on a Teams call, and hash out any, whether it's an incident you're working or whether it's, hey, a migration, whether it's a strategic move that you want to plan and talk out with a professional, we're there for you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I think those are great reasons, why Red Canary. Obviously a great company, and Forrester agrees. If you look at the most recent Forrester report, you'll see, Red Canary at the top of the hill there. And so, yeah, that answers, I think, why Red Canary from a customer perspective. I mean, what about for you guys? Like, why do you choose Red Canary? Why is it? I mean, I think Brendan, you kind of said, hey, one thing you want to look out for is if people are trying to hit the door at a security company, particularly an MDR, that might be something you want to slip away from. But for as an employee, why do you choose Red Canary?
So I choose Red Canary. Probably one, our software works. That's a big thing. Believe it or not, sometimes software companies have a great sales team and their software doesn't always back it up. I feel like the software does all the talking. I'm more of the evangelist of Red Canary, sharing the great story that we do, and I let the software and the great people behind us back us up. But ultimately, man, I really stand true to our core values at Red Canary. So Red Canary is a software, but we're also a service. So the core values to me, if I was a customer, would really matter. And that's also what matters to me is we focus on doing what's right for the customer. So we are always listening. We had a customer scenario where someone signed with an out clause, and it was actually a customer with XenTegra. And the customer really views Red Canary at the highest standard. And they basically came back. They had a little bit of challenges with us integrating with one of the tools that was, seemed to be mission critical to their organization. And they came back and said, Brennan and XenTegra and Red Canary, we can't move forward on you right now. And I really want to stress right now, because we love what you're doing. The amount of detail you're putting on threats is unlike anything we've ever seen. And we'd like to partner with you next year because we committed to them to get that new integration put in place. So I really do feel like this next go around the sun, we're going to be a great partner and be their preferred MDR to help support them moving forward. So that's the first one. We do what's right for the customer. And the way we do that is by listening. The second thing is we're really big on delivering quality. Of course, we could stand here and say, hey, we hire great quality people and that's all we're focused on. Man, when we start to show an actual demo and open up the portal of Red Canary, all types of prospects, current customers, partners, they're like, dang, I haven't seen people go to this level of detail in a process tree graph or a threat. This is wild. And that level of detail and quality builds a lot of trust with the customer, because when you do that, it doesn't allow us to have any BS. It's literally showing you the facts, and we go back as far as we can because that context is super important to us. And then ultimately, we're really focused on being kind and authentic. We don't spread the fear of FUD and uncertainty that it's going to be a deep, dark, scary world. Cyber attacks are coming for you, and it's only a matter of time. That is not Red Canary. We are here to be friendly. We're here to guide you. We're here to help you. That's what we do. And then lastly, we're absolutely relentless. That doesn't mean we have relentless salespeople calling and hounding you for an order. It means our detection engineers, our threat hunters are relentless. When the Red Canary finds a threat in your environment, we're going to follow your IR plan and your process to a T, but we will call you till we're blue in the face because we got to start taking action. Time is important, and we're here to support you. So I'm here because what we do and what we say is the truth and the reality. And then our core values really are the cornerstone and building blocks to the success that we've been building over the past decade, and we're going to continue to build for our customers.
Yeah, I love that you brought up, and I want to make sure it's not lost on anyone listening to this podcast, but I love that you brought up the that event that we were working on together, where we were working to help a customer to find an MDR solution that better fits their needs. And their environment, everybody's environment is a little different. They're all unique, and it takes, I think, a unique individual approach to deliver a good security solution for a company. And in this case, we went into the POV or POC, whatever you want to call it, and at towards the end, they decided to use their out clause because there was a key integration that they needed in their environment, and at that moment, you all didn't support. But immediately, you started working on solutions to pull that integration into your environment. And I know that you're very close to making that happen now. And so, I think they're going to go with the solution they've been with for a while, even though they're kind of wanting to leave that solution now because it's just not fitting their needs anymore. And I believe that they're going to come back with Red Canary next year, and I think that's great. And I think we'll be able to make the adjustments in the Red Canary environment to suit their environment. And I think most companies wouldn't highlight that because some people might see that as a failure, but it's not a failure. That, to me, that's success. Yeah, I mean, you didn't pull in the customer in this year, but you've got a commitment for next year because they see the value in a company like Red Canary, to give them individual attention, and that's really, I think, why they're leaving their current MDR provider is because they're looking for that individual attention, that unique approach to each customer that Red Canary provides. So I don't know if you want to highlight anything else in that incident, but I appreciate you bringing that up in the audience because, again, some people might see that as a lack of success, but I think that's complete success. That's exactly the kind of partner that I want supporting our customers.
Yeah, yeah, thanks, Aaron. We thought about this when we were talking beforehand. Do we come on here and give you guys like a roses and butterfly, success story? And I think it's better, like, let's give a real reality, like challenging success story. So, the co-founders at Red Canary, in my opinion, are just some of the best. It's their first go around at creating a company, but what makes them so awesome is they can talk to people, they can write code, and they really are just ordinary humans that have really focused on delivering greatness to others. And that is, the genome at everybody at Red Canary. We all bleed Red Canary red. So in that instance, I pushed the button. I let internal know what was going on immediately. The senior vice president of operations. This guy has over 250 people rolling up to him at Red Canary. He said, "I want to talk to this account immediately." And his process was, I don't want to talk to them and solve it and get them to sign. I want to talk to them and understand their challenge, and I want to do my best to try and fix it. And you know what his commitment was? It wasn't, hey, we're going to run a hard sales cycle and try and keep you on board. It's like, hey, we hear you. That's a good, valid point. We're going to make a change to that because I don't want to hear, I got to imagine other people feel that way. And we're going to course correct it. So that's exactly what we did. And man, that just breathes life into me and makes me excited to work here every day. And that's probably why I'll be here for another 5+ years at Red Canary.
Right. Yeah. So with that in mind, next 5 or so years, that you might be there, and maybe 20 and maybe 30, depending on, how things evolve. But so that brings up a good point. What can we expect to see from Red Canary in the future?
So for Red Canary in the future, you can expect us to take in more integrations. You can expect to see a lot more investment in the cloud. You can continue to see more focus on identity threats, us picking up on the unique features of that, and then more integrations with customer SIMs. Those are the top things that we're really focused on in delivering for the market. So the first one is the integrations, right? It's going to be rare for you to come to an MDR and they integrate with every single thing in your stack. And if they do, it's questionable if they're doing a good job on the actual MDR component. So for Red Canary, we're really focused on integrating with the top technologies. So for instance, we just released Wiz integration. We're the first managed detection and response provider to partner and ingest Wiz. That was a big thing for us. We saw that come through. So it kind of like moved up. So we're going to continue to do more integrations that we kind of see. We've seen some more people checking out new stuff around web browsers, different email technologies. Those are the integrations we're looking for. Where are people starting to go because we want to pick that up in their stack? We're continuing to see more and more people put their workloads up in the cloud. Managing and detecting and responding in the cloud can be a challenge. And Red Canary wants to be the forefront of that cloud detection and response. And then the third and final piece is, look, whether you love it or hate it, people are utilizing SIM. It's part of their practice. It's part of the requirements with insurance reasons for data aggregation and data storage. And we're going to go ahead and help customers solve that journey, whether it's fully managing it, helping and tuning and tweaking it, or assisting and guiding. But our goal is to help people more within their SIM integrations as well. So, Ryan, anything you'd add or change to that?
No, I think you nailed it, Brennan. I mean, if you look at our history, we started just analyzing endpoint telemetry, and that was just from Carbon Black, the first EDR. And now, 10 years later, we go where the threats go. They're not just on the endpoint. You saw this summer the attacks with MGM, the scattered spider threat actor that's compromising the identity, right? I mean, you saw Okta itself get breached. So we're encompassing and spreading out that detection coverage to go where the threats go. And then the only thing I'd add on, Brennan, is we also want to become core to security operations. So obviously, detection, investigation, response, that's our bread and butter, right? But we recently announced readiness exercises. So the ability to do continuous tabletops to train up your team. That's a whole nother area we want to go, left of boom, if you will. So how can we prepare your team to be enabled when these incidents do happen?
Oh, wow. Yeah. So hey, I want to ask you one more key question here, something I'm a little interested in, and I think anyone listening to this would be interested in, because I hear it a lot from customers that I interface with, and then we'll take a quick pivot back to our original point on the blog, and then probably wrap this up. But Brennan or Ryan, what type of organization would you say would partner with Red Canary? I mean, somebody's probably out there saying, my organization is too large, my organization is too small, I'm on-prem, I'm in the cloud, whatever it is, what types of organizations should or should not partner with Red Canary?
So that's a great question, Aaron. So of course we have an ICP, so your ideal customer profile. Every company has that. But I like to tell people, hey, if you have thought about buying CrowdStrike, if you have thought about buying Palo Alto, if you have thought about buying Cisco Meraki, if any of those things have ever come across your desk, Red Canary is a great fit for you. So our smallest customer is a 7-employee VC firm in the Bay Area. Our largest customer has over 100,000 employees. We actually have 2 customers with over 100,000 employees, one in manufacturing, one in technology. And Red Canary is here to support all different types of organizations. We support customers that have tens, if not hundreds of people on their security operations team assisting, and we're helping those SOCs basically identify through the threat hunting and helping assist them to respond. And then we're actually helping companies that have a no-person IT team. And we're doing active remediation, hands-on keyboard response for their endpoints, after-hour support. We're actually giving reporting to the CEO directly through the customer success team for a really small organization like that. When I look at the ideal customer profile of Red Canary, it probably scales anywhere from the bulk majority of our customers fall in 500 employees to 10,000 employees. I know that's a wide range, but that's probably the bulk that we would see. That 80% falls into that category, and then the rest are there as well. But honestly, anyone who's looking to or has concerns that they could be subject to an incident, a security incident of any kind, Red Canary could and should be a great partner for you in your journey of really building confidence and preparing yourself from the modern day cyber attacks and feeling confident that you're going to be protected through them.
Yeah, I've already mentioned we have that flexible delivery model. We use the tools you already have. So let's just have a conversation, right? Let's figure out if we're a fit or not.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, every environment is unique, and I think it takes a unique approach to address concerns of different companies, different clients, different customers, and I love that Red Canary does that. So, as I said, I want to pivot back to the blog real quick, and I don't know, I think you covered it pretty well. I don't know if you have any other points you want to highlight, but one thing that I want to highlight is I think a lot of people enjoy your blogs probably for the technical depth that's there, and I appreciate that about this one too. But what I appreciate about this blog more so than the technical aspects is the intellect in behind how this was discovered. Right, this is not something that can be automated. This is a unique perspective of something that happened in someone's environment, at an odd time, an odd hour. And somebody looked at it and said, hey, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't look like, normal conduct in this environment. And so I want to research that activity further. I want to pull in resources across the company to further analyze this. And by doing so, you solve the major problem, and you kept a customer from, whatever might have happened out of that, be it ransomware or exploited or whatever could have happened. I think that's a bit unique. That shows that you have people behind the keyboard, conducting analytics, actually looking at problems and trying to solve them, as opposed to just a whole bunch of automated responses that probably would not have caught this. Anything you want to add on that blog before we close out?
I think the thing I would just call out here is, this is a unique scenario that we've shared, but it's also an everyday scenario. These things are happening consistently every single day. This is just, it might be a unique highlight, but it's part of the everyday regiment that the great people that make up Red Canary are seeing every day. And we're putting in the good fight to kind of help and identify the new and emerging threats and helping stop them in their tracks. I think that's just highlighting the things without really going to all the details. This is everyday stuff for us at Red Canary that we're bringing to our customers. So it's really interesting, Aaron. Ryan and I talk to people all the time, and we ask them, what do you know about Red Canary? One of the top things they say is, I love your blog. That's one of the top things they say. There's lots of diverse information in there, from incident response to threat hunting to intelligence. Heck, I'm even going to throw it in there. Our top blog was, relating cybersecurity to being a Taylor Swift fan. We like to have fun with it. I just saw one post around incident response and what you can learn from Macaulay Culkin or Kevin McAllister from Home Alone. Like, we like to have fun and really hold the reader and get them focused in on it. But ultimately, by just going to our blog and learning from it, you're going to get better and improve, because there's really smart people behind it. They're helping write these things. We've got nothing to hide. We're really big on giving back to the community, and the blog is just one of the ways we do that. And I thought this was a great highlight of something of a really cool threat happening, and us showing some great extra additional value to help stop it.
All right, Ryan, anything to close out?
No, really appreciate you having us on, and this blog's a perfect example of why it's fun, rewarding to work at Red Canary. We see in real time the threats that we're detecting and stopping, and helping our customers return to normal business.
All right. Well, hey, I really appreciate your time. I definitely value the partnership that we have formed with Red Canary. It's really been a great ride with you guys, and I look forward to how things proceed in the future. And so, well, I'll close it out with saying, hey, stay informed, stay secure out here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.